What's up guys, DJ Form back here again, and today just wanted to follow up on my other video about the DDJ-SX2. So today we're going to go a bit more in depth at some of the features that I showed to you guys. So we're actually going to plug it into the laptop, hook up some music, and see what it can do. Stay tuned. So now we have the controller plugged into the computer. I'm using a MacBook Pro. I know some people like PCs, but for me, MacBook is pretty much the best. It's the most reliable. All right, so first going into like some of those features that I mentioned in the previous video. So we do have the large platter here that allows you to move the record. So if I do that, and then I have some effects up here. We'll get into that in a second once we start letting the music play a little bit. Again, we have the sensor button. So allows you to rewind. Well, a lot of people use it for censoring cuss words if you're doing like a clean set. And then we have the adjusting the beat grid, which I'm not going to get into today. That's more on the software side. Allows you to alternate decks. So I'm on deck 1 where my song is loaded. I'll press the button. You hear sound 3. Press the button. Nothing, because nothing on that deck. And then the shift button we'll get into. And then the sync button, which allows you to lock BPM ranges. And then I have a cue button, which allows you to set one position in the song, and that's where this button. So if I let it play some more, and then I press it, and then it comes back, and I press the play button, same position. I usually have that set at the beginning of the track, just so if I can quickly jump back to the beginning of the track. And then, like I said again, we have these 8 buttons, those buttons. So originally I had one cue point or one marker in the song. So if I press that position, I can also use the platter to jump forward, and then now I'm in another position in the song. I can set it, instead of on the kicks, I can set it on the clap. So I have 1 kick, 2 kick, and a clap. That's pretty much just does the same for all 8 buttons. If I press the roll button and I come back to the beginning of the track, then I activate a roll. So I'm gonna let the song play. Basically allows you to replay the same portion of a track for as long as you can hold the button. So for the slicer, which is basically allows you to jump around a track within the same 8 bar region or 8 beat region. So each one of these pads is a beat, 1 beat, 2 beat, 3 beat, 4 beat, and etc. So if I jump back to the beginning of the track and let it play, hit the slicer button, basically allows you to like chop up a song. If you're familiar with like an MPC, which is like a beat making machine, it allows you to like chop up a sample. Really handy if you're trying to like do something original or something to like wow a crowd. And then we also have a sampler. So these are your one shots, like an air horn or like your DJ drop. So for mine, I have the typical air horn. And then I have like a whoosh sound. And then I have my DJ drop. So those are the main 4. There's also a secondary, but those are you don't really need to use those if you're just getting started with the controller. So in addition to the actual buttons that we have some faders, and then we have some loops. So this fader allows you to adjust how fast a track moves and also the key. So if or not the key, just the tempo of the track. So I'm gonna play the track again, let you hear the difference. So play. And if you're from Houston or you're at all familiar with Houston music, that's pretty much how, well, basically, essentially how DJ Screw manipulates his songs to sound slow. So an example of that, just using what I've showed you so far. So I play the song. So yeah, that's just an example of using two things that the controller does to get the sound you want. So in addition to the tempo, you also have Serato flip, which is more of a software thing, so I'll get to that in another video. And then we have the auto loop, which is going to be kind of hard to demonstrate with this instrumental, but it basically just allows you to loop the track in a set amount of time. So that. And then like you saw me do, you can press these two buttons to jump around or change the amount of time you want the loop to be. And then like I mentioned earlier, you do also have the effects, so I'll demonstrate some of those for you right now. Let me just loop this real quick. So right now we're on a 4-bar loop. And if I press this button, I have an echo effect going. And that kills the sound and it echoes it out. If I bring it back, that one makes the sound go like in and out, basically like a gate. And then this one is a, what we call a break, or it basically like stops the track over a long period of time. My most used one is the echo. Really clean. And then in addition to that, you have a key lock, which allows you to lock the key of a song. Pretty simple. So if I have it on and then I use the fader to change the tempo, you see it's not as dramatic as the first time I used the tempo. So I'm going to show you the difference with the key lock on and the key lock off. So press the play button. This is the key lock on. And that last bit was the key lock off. So it allows you to maintain the same key of the song even though you're changing the tempo, which is something you can't do without the software, the Serato. So moving on again a little bit further to the right, you have the EQs. So you have like I said again, the trim, the high, the mid, the low, and then the low and high pass. So I'll just demonstrate that for you right now also. So hit the play button or the start button, and then we're going to bring our tempo back down. So the trim, no volume, all the way to the right, bigger volume. The high takes away the high, so you're just left with that low, like you're listening through a wall. And then it brings it higher, like you're listening. Bring the volume down a little more. And then our mid takes out the mid. So you're left with just the highs and the lows. And if you bring it all the way to the right, you have an oversaturated sound with more mid. And then if we do the low, it's going to be hard to tell on camera, but I don't know if you can hear, but my sub isn't activating. And then if we extreme, it adds more low end, which is kind of hard to tell on camera. And then the low pass and high pass, once again, like you're listening through a wall. This is how they get that infamous listening to Redbone through a bathroom wall or bathroom at a party, house party. That's how they do that. And then if you go all the way to the right, bring the high pass all the way up. Nothing but highs. And then you eventually kill the highs. And then you hear nothing. In addition to those, you can also kill the volume through this. This is the volume fader. Basically, it essentially acts as a volume button on your car stereo, your TV. So bring it down little by little, and then there's no volume. Bring it back up, volume. And then the crossfader. So right now I have the crossfader in the middle position. So I have sounds coming from the left side and the right side. If I leave it in the middle and I press over here, you'll hear sound. If you can hear that, I'll load another song so you can hear the difference. So you hear. But if I stop this, you can really hear it. So that's a completely different song. Left side, right side. Completely different. And if I close it all the way to the left, it shuts out the right side. So you can't hear anything from the right. Hear stuff from the left. And the exact opposite. Close it all the way to the right. Hear the right side. Don't hear the left. And that's the cross.